What's up guys, DuArktik here with another Marvel Strike Force video, and in this video we are going to take a look at a few different things. First off, 23 million celebration for no reason, and I reached 1,300 and something days, and I wanted to talk with you guys about what I have been doing in terms of the game, and also how should you approach the game, because I have seen so many things on the last few days where I was away because of mental health reasons. For the few days I went away, just on the last 3 days, I have seen so much nonsense that I'm already outraged. So we are going to talk about all that and how you need to focus on the game going forward. As it seems, it's something new. We have the new MSF, and we have the insane recommendations of Punisher being good for Dark Dimension and Captain Sam not being good for Dark Dimension. I cannot understand the MSF community. It's getting so absurd that I really don't know what to think. And you guys let me know in the comments below. Am I wrong? Am I playing a different game that everyone else is? Or what the hell is going on? Because it seems that the content creator FOMO generated is increasing more and more, and it's becoming so absurd that I have to start making videos roasting the dumb shit people say, because it's getting ridiculous. It's getting like beyond what is reasonable to accept coming out of someone's mouth. It's like they are talking with their anus rather than with their mouth, because it seems like the brain is so far away from what's the sound coming out. Okay, so let's talk about that. And yes, I have some mental problems like everyone else has. I have problems with my family and with my relationships and also with addiction. So I had to make a little break because I was feeling extremely sick, and that's why I was a few days away. I was not on holidays, it's just my normal problems. Okay, so because I'm diabetic, cool story. Okay, so 23 million TCP, and we did this in 1,380 days, which is pretty nice. And why should you listen to me? Why should you listen to my opinion? Well, I was the only content creator free to play that was actually able to finish Dark Dimension 5 on around top 1,000, which is pretty nice. 100% free to play. I didn't bought a single offer. And where you see these leaderboards, top 1,000, 1,336. I really wanted 1,337, but I was holding a few days to get the elite, MLG player. Unfortunately, it was not the case. So yeah, I did all of these, top 1,000, free to play. I didn't spend any money on Teal Gear or anything, and you need to focus on what you are doing. You need to know what you are prioritizing. It's not Punisher to Teal Gear, it's not Korath to Teal Gear. You have to really focus on the characters that you focus on. And months and months ago, when Dark Dimension 5 started, I was doing reviews on the characters that people were using, and people said you have no right to review because you have zero experience. Well, as it seems, even without any experience, I was still one of the top players in the world. Free to play. Do I need to mention? I didn't bought any Teal Gear, zero Teal Gear, like other people did. So I did that all fine and dandy. And again, this new MSF that you need to adapt, it's the same MSF from the last 3 years or 4 years that I've been playing, 1,380 days. It's the same game. You need to invest on good characters. And long-lasting characters. You need to invest on stats and kit-based characters, not invest on Korath or Punisher. What is Punisher or Korath going to do to your progress on Dark Dimension or Cosmic Crucible or wherever? It gives you zero value. If you're investing so much for maybe Alliance Wars, you are making a big mistake. Okay, so I'm gonna show you the characters I've been investing in. And in terms of the Scourge, because the Scourge is coming for Rogue, and Rogue I already mentioned 3 weeks ago, 1 month ago, it's going to be necessary for the arena going forward, and you need to focus on arena. You guys probably saw that my live stream or whatever from a few days ago, I had 12,000 cores. I had 12,000 cores and I only have 1,000 cores, and that means I've been spending my cores on characters that matter going forward in order to complete this event. So for me, that I buy one offer of each character, I can get every single character at 5 yellow stars. If you are a free-to-play player and you still do fine in arena, if you get around 300 cores plus per day and you don't spend it on stupid shit like energy and other things, because if you are a mid-range player, you don't need to spend cores on energy. In case you are on that specific situation, you should save your cores to buy the characters that matter, the good characters that matter and that are going to be necessary going forward. Okay, so the new characters that have been released recently and the reworks we have Unlimited X-Men, that in the past they were really trashy. The developers noticed it and they changed the base stats of the characters to make them useful. It's tank it until you can spank it. I'm inventing this saying, tank it until you can spank it, and that's the deal with Unlimited X-Men. They are so slow that you need to take all the damage from the other team, so after finally you can attack them and come through. So it's tank it until you can spank it. So they are very important. They are going to be required for the Apocalypse. So Apocalypse, supposedly, it's going to be a game-changing character. We don't know exactly why yet, but it's going to matter. So you need to invest a little bit on them. Then we have the new Asgardians that are going to be part of the Scourge number 3. Then we have whatever else. We have the A-Force that is going to be part of the Scourge number 2. But now, should you invest on all characters? Should you invest on all characters? Should you invest on Heimdall to Teal Gear right now? Of course not. Even that Heimdall is part of the new Scourge, the Scourge number 3, many of his abilities do not work on Scourge environments. So you should not invest in a character just because he is part of it. So many people were investing deeply into the A-Force, don't say something else. They were investing deeply into the A-Force in Captain Marvel and Nico Minoru when we don't know yet if those characters are going to be required. Now, in terms of the A-Force, there are 2 characters that are definitely worth the investment: Jessica Jones and Spider-Woman. The other 2 characters you can skip. This is the only way you can have enough gear and enough training materials for the characters that matter. And right now, I don't have enough training materials. I have a decent amount, but not as much as I usually have, because I invested on Wakanda. But that's because I like Wakanda, because I have good red stars on them, because I like their mechanics, and because I like Cosmic Crucible. So I made a not smart decision to invest on Wakanda, depending to your standards in terms of Cosmic Crucible, and that crippled a little bit my other teams, the Scourge, Progress, and so on. But even so, you don't have to invest in these characters. And even on the Unlimited X-Men, it's another thing, like, they are going to be necessary for the Apocalypse, but do you have to invest on them right now? No. If you're not using them for Cosmic Crucible, they are not good in raids. They were never supposed to be good in raids. So you can invest in one character per patch. So now we are on patch 6.2, you can invest on Gambit and maybe Dazzler or Phantom X. The next patch you can invest on Sunfire. The patch after you can invest on other character that is remaining. The only character that you really have to invest is Rogue. Everyone else you can gradually invest until January of next year or February, when Apocalypse will be released, because until then these characters will not be required. Okay, so now in terms of the Scourge number 2, the Scourge for Rogue, which characters should you invest? Should you invest on all Inhumans? Some people were investing on Quake. Why are you investing on Quake? Maybe you will need 10 characters around that, but you don't need anything beyond those 10 characters, and even 8 characters are going to be good for you. If you follow my live streams, which not many people do, but you should do on Twitch and on YouTube, you don't need all the characters, you just need a few of them, and you have different combinations on different situations where you are going to be having a great team. For example, Miss Marvel, Squirrel Girl, Yo-Yo, Black Bolt, and then or Jessica Jones, or Spider-Woman, or some other character that deals damage. You can have different combinations like these. You don't need only Young Avengers, or yes, Young Avengers. You don't need only A-Force. You should make hybrids of these teams. Where is the theory crafting? It's right here. Invest on the good characters, not on trash characters. Trash characters. She doesn't do anything. She's just a meat bag. That's it, nothing else. Okay, so A-Force, Jessica Jones, Spider-Woman, you should be investing in them. The other two you can ignore. Wakanda, you should definitely ignore in case you are not interested in Cosmic Crucible. Darkhold, you should definitely invest on some of the characters, not all. The priority characters is Morgan Le Fay and Agatha Harkness. The other characters, the other three characters do not matter that much. And yes, they will be required in January from next year, but not right now. So once again, it's another team that you can gradually invest in. Marauders, not important right now. Dark Hunters, they are no longer important. If you already completed the first Scourge event, you can completely ignore the Dark Hunters. They are not important anymore. And even on the Dark Hunters, some of them benefit from more gear than others. Elsa Bloodstone, she's okay, she doesn't do that much. And that also depends on your goals. My goal was getting top 500 on the first Scourge, and I had to invest big for that. But if I would be smarter, I would just invest less, like Gear Tier 14, and repeat the event enough times that at Gear Tier 14 I would be able to get top 1000, and that would be cool. I would not have to waste all this Mystic gear on this team that is not so great. Now we have the Young Avengers, and there are 4 characters here that are decent. Some of them are worth teal gear, others are not worth teal gear. And I have to make a separate video explaining how you appreciate a character to see if it's worth a teal gear or gold promotion credits on. Some people, many people are asking on Facebook, is Squirrel Girl worth gold promotion credits? Of course not. But the reasons why it's a little bit complicated, I will do that other video explaining why you should not invest gold promotion credits on Squirrel Girl or Miss Marvel. That's going to be another video. But American Chavez, why are you investing on American Chavez? She doesn't do anything good for the Scourge event. Yes, she will give 25% more HP, but it's going to be way more important if the enemies do less damage. Other important thing is the ISO weight. Are you using the right ISO weight? If you are not using Skirmisher, for example, on Kate Bishop, many times her abilities get resisted. Even that she gets offense up, her focus is not that great, and because so many teams now have so much resistance, you really want to focus your ISO weight on utility, not damage. Focus your ISO weight on utility. Yes, Squirrel Girl with Striker ISO weight does more damage, but she's a fucking healer. Why are you doing more damage with a healer? Focus on the character's utility. Kate Bishop, her utility is applying negative effects, applying blinds. If you can apply blinds all the time to the enemies, if you can apply slows all the time to the enemies, you'll not need the other characters to have so much investment in, especially when most of the times the investment is not going to be good enough. Okay, so a small example. Squirrel Girl, you should not get her to teal gear, because when you increase the teal gear on the character, you are increasing the armor, and she has no armor. So are you going to multiply 1000 by 0? That's still going to be 0. So you need to be smart about these options so you can survive on this new MSF. You need to focus on the good characters and on the characters that make sense. Common sense is good. You don't need to have 5000 IQ to understand this. Common sense is good enough if people explain how things work. If people are trying to hide how things work, then of course you are going to make mistakes. Okay, we have the Ravagers or whatever. These characters, they are not terrible, but because one is bio, other is tech, other is mystic, other is whatever, they don't have raid viability, and they have some dark dimension viability, but you have way better options, so it's not worth it. Now, Star-Lord T'Challa has a lot of PvP viability, a lot of raid viability, all kinds of viability, so he's definitely a character that you should invest on. And Yondu, he was important for this Gambit raid and whatever, and he's somewhat of a character that you can use on very specific situations, but it's really depending, do you have good red stars on him, then you might consider investing, otherwise not. Then we have Uncanny and we have Web Warriors. If you did not invest in the Web Warriors in the past for the Scourge event, and if you're not trying to get the top 500, it's not important to invest on them anymore. If they are at gear tier 14, that's still fine. You can save the bio gear and invest on the Scourge event that matters right now, which is the second Scourge, which involves the Inhumans and involves the Young Avengers and the A-Force. So you can skip these characters for now, skip like for gear tier 14 and level 80, they will do fine in raids. You don't need higher than that, and you can still sim with these characters. Okay, so these were the characters I was investing in, nothing else. You need to be laser focused on the good characters and invest in them. Do not waste resources. This is how you survive. Like from the past month and now this month, I'm spending like 25% of what I have spent in the past, and going forward it's going to be even better. You just have to be 100% laser focused and not fall into the FOMO of other people saying stupid shit and give you terrible advices. Okay, so in terms of T4s, I can also talk about some of the T4s. You can always check my ISO 8 recommendations and T4 recommendations on my Discord. There is a folder for each of the teams and so on. It's down on the tabs or whatever. So this one gives an additional functionality to Mighty Thor, applies blind. This one gives more charges, guaranteed charges to Thor and to her. That's amazing. Of course you have to do these T4s. In terms of the, let's see, let's go through these characters really quick. So Magic, she requires some T4s. Thor, the ultimate can be decent to increase the chances of applying stuns. If you apply stuns, you can win the game easily. So focus on things that allow you to win the game. If you have to choose between the special or the ultimate gives you 10% higher chance of winning. The special gives you a little bit more damage, but that's irrelevant. Do the enemies have deflects? Do the enemies have defense up? Do you have offense down? If all those things are taken into consideration, then the ultimate is going to be more important than the special. Okay, Spider-Woman, no need to apply any T4s. All of the T4s are for War only, and she works fine in War. She works fine in Cosmic Crucible without any of these T4s. Okay, so what we have left, we have Gambit, of course, he requires some T4s because he gets additional functionality. Then we have Heimdall, additional functionality on the special, he clears more negative effects, and that's very important because this team is very slow, like the Unlimited X-Men, so they need backup systems to clear the disadvantage that they got from being so slow. Okay, Mighty Thor, we already mentioned. We have Phantom X. I only did the passive, and that's because, again, additional functionality. He has 100% counter attack, and he can apply defense down with the counters. So, again, that's important. With Dazzler, not really required any T4s. There is one or two that I might consider, but not important. Sunfire is fine at this point, and look at that. I have a 4-star Sunfire, and I'm gonna get him to 5 stars because I spend the cores where they matter. This guy is going to be required for Apocalypse. Okay, so I'm gonna spend cores on this character. I could buy the offers, yes, but I could also save the money and waste the cores that I've been stacking on for no reason. Okay, so he has some decent T4s here, not something that you should rush for, because he only has viability on Cosmic Crucible. So yeah, you just have to be smart about it. This girl, the Gothic waifu, she doesn't require any T4s. Yes, some of them can be useful, but wait for the Scourge event before you waste your resources. If you are wasting today, you have so many teams, you don't have to invest on another team, you just have to be creative, and maybe, for example, you can mix Ravagers with other team, like Secret Avengers or whatever, to make a stronger team. Where is the theory crafting? I don't see it. Okay, so we have Rogue, that's the character that you'll be getting, and you need her for Arena. You need Rogue for Arena. And Valkyrie, you don't need her for Arena, you pretty much don't need her for anything. But she's a decent character, she will be important for the third Scourge. We'll talk about the new Asgardians in the future. And Omega Red, like this is the normal characters, not really important. So that's the thing, like if you want to survive on the new MSF, it's the same MSF it has always been. You have to be laser focused, you have to use common sense and good information on the right choices of characters to invest in. And that's it. Don't waste your resources on Korath or Punisher. Be smart about it and look for good information so you are not tricked into wasted your gear. Because when you waste your gear, you are making the lives of other people better, because with all these leaderboards, you have to remember you are not competing against the game, you are competing against other players. Okay guys, so that's going to be the video. I hope you guys enjoyed as much as I can. I apologize for the salt, but it's necessary. When there is so much dumb shit going around, it's important to have some salt to cut the flavor of the shit that is going on. So if you like the information on this video, like always, make sure you smash that like button. And if you found the information helpful, make sure you share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. Make sure you join my Discord, where you can tag me all the time and I always reply if you tag. If you don't tag me, I will not see the messages. You can tag me in any situation if you need some important question to be asked. And the link will be in the description as always. And that's it. So I hope you guys have a good time and I will catch you guys later.